Hey, what's up guys? This week I'm driving the GWM TANK 300. This is the top spec HEV derivative. And I'm going to be talking about its price, its specifications, what's it like to drive. So make sure you stay tuned for this one. From the front of the vehicle, it looks quite menacing. It reminds me of a Jeep or something like a Jimny. It's got obviously these big bold bumpers on the front with these LED headlamps as well as these daytime running lights. They look quite nice and they look pretty cool on the road. I think it's got a lot of attention. A lot of people, approaching me, asking me what vehicle it is, and I think overall, from a design perspective, it does look quite appealing. Moving around to the side of the vehicle, you've got these lovely 18-inch rims. These ones are wrapped in Michelin tires. They do look quite nice. I've also got this side sill, which is quite useful for the kids to get into the vehicle. And as we make our way to the back of the vehicle, you obviously got a full-size spare tire, which is also Michelin. So that's pretty cool. And then you've got LED lights at the rear as well, which also look quite nice. This vehicle has a 2.5-ton towing capacity, plenty of space in the rear. You also have a 220 volt charging point as well as a 12 volt socket, and then you've got a couple of hooks and stuff around the rear bin area. So with the seats upright, you've got about 400 liters of boot space, and then with the seats dropped down, you've got about 1,635 liters of boot space, which is more than adequate for a family of 4. So moving on to the interior of the vehicle, I mean, I think the Chinese are really doing well with the interior. A lot of nice finishes and a lot of nice touches, soft touches along the interior. You've got synthetic leather on the seats, and overall the build feels quite nice. It doesn't feel very cheap, to be honest with you, and I would expect that considering the price of the vehicle, which we'll get into a little bit later on. There are also some soft touches around the dash and around the doors, so nothing really to complain about from that regard. You get two 12.3-inch digital, well, one is your instrument cluster for your driver's side, and then you've got your 12.3-inch media infotainment system on the left hand side. Now the driver's instrument cluster is quite well lit up. There is a few settings that you can adjust here and a couple of different views, a 4x4 view as well as a classic view, and you do get Apple CarPlay and Android Auto as well. You get wireless charging as well as one type A and one type C in the front. In the rear you got two type A's, so quite a bit of charging space. This is obviously full 4x4, so you've got your 4-low capability, and then you've got numerous driver modes here, which includes like your eco, normal, sport mode, snow mode, sand mode, mud mode, and obviously when you're not in 4-low, it's a permanent all-wheel drive system. And then I think that's it. You also have 360-degree cameras, and then you've got your hill descent. On your steering, you've got your instrument cluster controls on your right hand side, and then you've got your media controls on the left hand side. So you can toggle between some of your vehicle settings, and you've also got your pedal shifters on your steering. So under the bonnet, you've got a 2-liter turbo engine. It is petrol, and it's mated to a 9-speed hybrid automatic gearbox. It develops 255 kilowatts and 648 newton meters of torque. Fuel consumption claimed is about 8.4, but I've been averaging about 13-14 liters, so nowhere close to the claimed fuel consumption. Let's get down to the drive. I've driven the vehicle for a week now. I have to admit, it is quite nice having a HEV in this. It's quite silent, it's very smooth on the road, and I think it's quite nice to drive. From my short encounter with the vehicle, I think it performed quite well. Fuel consumption wasn't really anything to write home about, but I think overall drive, overall feel of the vehicle, it does feel quite nice, and I do like that hybrid setup in this vehicle. So you can get into the tank range for about 750,000 Rand, and this HEV derivative is 850,000 Rand. Comes with a 75,000 kilometer service plan, as well as extensive warranties on the vehicle as well as the battery. It competes with the likes of the Jeep as well as the Jimny. The Jeep being a bit more expensive, coming in over R1,000,000, also not offering any HEV setup. And then you've got the Jimny coming in at about 500,000 Rand for the 5-door, but that also doesn't have a HEV setup, and it's obviously smaller than this tank. So it's quite a unique offering from GWM. I do quite like it. It drives really well. It's got great finishes. I think the ultimate question is, will you be willing to outlay the 850,000 Rand for this vehicle? Please don't forget to like and subscribe and support the channel.